This segment's being sponsored by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency. Join us in preserving and protecting Tennessee's wildlife. All right, guys, this next segment's been sponsored by our friends up at Taylor's Archery. You can find them at 100 East Lauderdale Street in Tullahoma, Tennessee, or give owner Tracy Taylor a call at 931-563-7706 and let him take care of all your archery needs. They've got the tournament season going right now. Lots of folks are getting in there, getting their bows ready for the tournament season. Got indoor shooting right now, 3Ds coming up, and thank him so much too for everything he does with our youth and the archery programs. We appreciate Taylor very much the way he does that. All right, if you guys want to give us a shout, you can call us at 615-737-7767. And until then, let's talk to Josh for a few minutes here to get going. Show's coming up this weekend, man. Tomorrow at noon, the doors will open.
We'll be open till 8 o'clock. Saturday we open 10 to 7, and Sunday it's noon to 4.
Okay, so plenty of chance for everybody to get down there and check it out. I think you got a great layout, man. We got wide walkways.
Yeah, we widened all the walkways another 5 feet just to kind of help people walk through, social distance. You know, the venue or the state is requiring everybody to wear a mask in the building, which I know we all don't want to.
No, but it's a good safe protocol.
Yep.
So you know, when you guys come down there, just expect we're going to be following everything that we need to be. The walkways are wider. You got a good turnout in there.
Yeah,
I mean, it's going to be a great show.
We got a bunch of good fishing lines there. You know, my biggest thing about the show this year is we just want to keep everybody safe. But I know everybody's stuck at home. They all want to get out. Kind of the way I see it is if you can get out, still be safe and have fun, at the end of the day, you did everything you can.
That's right. And they can get down there and finally get their hands on some fishing tackle and some rods. They can come see these guys and set some trips up. You know, people are ready to get back out on the water. It's getting that time, and this is a good way to kick it off.
Another good thing is right now, nobody can get tackle.
Yeah.
You know, these guys that are at the show, they're making their own tackle out of, most of them make it out of their garage at home.
That's right.
They're loaded up. They hadn't really got to do any shows this year, so they're going to have huge sale prices.
Yeah, and plenty of stock. I watched them today in there. They were loading in all day, weren't they, Bobby?
We went from 3 shows a year to 4 shows a year, and now we actually got a show that we can go to. I mean, it gives you an opportunity to get out. I mean, and like you said, the tackle, that's the main thing. Everybody's having problems finding what they want, and you can find them at shows like what we've got going on this weekend.
Whatever you need, I promise you, it's in that building right now.
Yep.
You're going to be able to go down there and get what you need tackle-wise, but also informational. I mean, there's a lot of knowledge down there in that building this weekend. There's a lot of folks you can go talk to, whether you want to come talk to somebody like Bobby about smallmouth or Dale Hollow Lake. Mark Travis will be there. Go talk to him about crappie fishing. Brian Carper's going to be there. The list goes on and on, to be honest.
It's got some good seminars laid out.
There's some good seminars laid out. I'll go ahead and say too, I just talked to him today and confirmed it, but J.G. Allman's going to be doing some seminars as well. So if you guys are interested in hearing about muskie fishing in the state of Tennessee, he does a great seminar on that. I never realized that world was as big as it is around here, but it is. You just got to be in the right place. But we got a few callers here. Let's take a couple. We got Robert. How are you doing tonight?
Pretty good. How are y'all?
Doing great. We appreciate you calling.
I got a question for Bobby. Do you remember Fred McClintock?
Yes, sir, Robert. Sure do.
He was a character, and I fished with him about 30 years ago.
Yeah, I knew.
When did he finally pass?
Yeah, he moved away. I kind of lost contact with Fred when he left. I think his wife was a teacher there in Clay County. Then I think she retired. Then they moved out in Western Kentucky, and I lost contact. Yeah, I think they moved, and but it's been I haven't heard anything update on him. But he could have passed. I'm not sure.
Oh, okay. All right, then. I appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you.
Have a good night.
Thank you for calling. James, how are you tonight? James, how are you doing tonight?
James, how you doing tonight? James, how you doing tonight?
Sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened, but James, if you want to, try to call us again, and we'll try to get you on here. So getting back to the show a little bit, we've got, again, lots of pros are going to be down there. We're going to have some seminars on graphs. You guys were just talking about your electronics. You get down there and learn how to use the electronics. You got guys that are going to be in there teaching seminars that'll tell you what you need to know. You can ask questions at the end of it, and they'll be glad to help you out with whatever you need. We got James back here. Let's try this again. James, how are you doing?
Hello.
Hey, James, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing great. We appreciate you calling.
Yeah, I live between Monterey and Livingston, and I've got a question for you.
Sure.
I've got a little deer herd here, and there has been a little deer. It stayed by itself. It wouldn't stay with the herd ever since last fall, and it's still here by itself. What's going on with that?
That's hard to say. Are you sure that it's a female deer? Could it possibly be a young buck?
I'm not sure. I can't get close enough to it to see.
If it was a young buck, if it was a button buck this past year, a lot of times when they get pushed away from their mother, which will happen as we come up into the breeding season, sometimes they just live a more lone life. That's the way they want to be. If the deer appears healthy, nothing seems wrong with its health, and it's eating well, it's most likely just a little buck, and he'll actually probably live his whole life being reclusive like that if that's the case, and those are the hardest ones to catch up with.
Well, I've been feeding it in the backyard, and I don't shoot them anymore.
Yeah.
But I used to buy beehead lures from your buddy there with you tonight. I don't know where you remembers me or not.
Yes, sir.
Remember that, Bobby?
Yes, sir, I do.
This guy's been doing it a long time.
You're talking about Mr. Dale Braun that was there on top of the hill there next to in Salina.
Well, that's all. I won't take up any more of your time. I appreciate you advice.
No problem. Thank you for calling. We appreciate you watching.
All right. Thank
Have a
you.
great night.
Good night.
Yeah, I tell you, sometimes those little bucks, I mean, even from day one,
They'll hang around.
once they get kicked, that's it. Yeah, and he'll hang around. You know, he may stay there forever in that area, but that
Especially when he's feeding him, he's got food source.
Yeah,
he's happy.
he's just hanging around
content,
there, coming up and eating and going laying back down and doing his thing. You know. Josh, what about admission?
Admission this year, it's $10 for adults. Military and seniors is $5, and kids 12 and under is free.
That's the best part.
Well, I mean, you know, we try to make it family friendly.
Yeah.
We want you to come out with your family.
Right.
You know,
Bring the kids, let them come down there, learn something, get something, you know, get them excited for this coming spring.
I mean, and the biggest thing about it is, you know, fishing, hunting, you know, I hate using the words, but it's a dying sport.
Yeah.
You got to get the youth out, get them away from video
Yep.
games, and get them out in the woods.
Yeah, and so no excuse when you can take them for free.
Yep.
We got another caller here. Who do we have on one? John, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing pretty good. How are you?
Doing great. We appreciate you calling. How can we help you tonight?
I've got a small deer herd that stay on my place year round, and you know, in the wintertime food gets kind of scarce.
Uh-huh.
I wondered if you could tell me what kind of crop I could plant or sow for them to eat through the winter.
A winter cover crop, there's a lot of choices, to be honest with you. If you've got freshly grown wheat, so if you grow winter wheat and you don't plant it until later in the year, like say November, even December, you can plant winter wheat just about any time you want to throughout the winter seasons. When that is fresh and coming up and newly sprouting until it's about 5 inches tall, there aren't many things that attract deer any better. You don't have to really worry about nutritionally, to be honest. It would be more of an attraction type deal. Deer get all the nutrition they need from out in the wild. So I use something that attracts, and wheat really attracts. I also use winter peas, chickpeas, and chicory. They also work well for me, but just usually a blend. And if you have ever heard of a plant, it's a particular type of radish, and it's called a daikon radish or a tillage radish. And if you put those in late in the, or we'll say early in the fall, by this time of year, it's an incredible draw crop for deer. I'm getting some feedback. I hope that helps you out, John. Sorry guys, we're getting some feedback tonight. We're going to go over and do this week's tip of the week. It's being sponsored by Phoenix Custom Quality Rods. You guys can check out their full lineup at phoenixrods.com, or in the state of Tennessee, call Mr. Jim Brewer at 931-213-1455 and let him take care of all your Phoenix needs. All right, Bobby, what you got for us tonight on a tip there, buddy?
This tip's pretty important. I've had this come up a couple times. We always talk about our life jackets. I always wear a personal flotation device. We don't always check to see if our canister's working properly.
Yeah.
I noticed that I've had a couple of clients that had got in the boat and they had their vest, and they actually can see an indicator that you need to check, make sure that that works. That's something that we take for granted.
If it don't, it's not going to do you any good.
You take it off and you throw it in the truck. If it gets wet, it's going to blow up.
Yeah.
If it ain't got no good canister in it, you're going to have a problem.
Yeah, that's right.
So
then it's just a piece of cloth.
Yeah, especially when 42 to 43 degree water temperatures. You guys always check your safety.
Yeah.
We can talk about winter fishing, but if you don't come home, it's not been a good trip. So let's try to check that out for you.
Good tip, Bobby. Well, guys, we're going to give you one more chance to call here, and it's going to be for a set of tickets to this weekend's expo at the Wilson County Fairgrounds. Be the fifth caller, 615-737-7767, and you're going to get a set of tickets for this weekend. We'll be back here in just a minute with some more Southern Woods and Waters.